You must obtain a safety data sheet the first time you use or purchase a chemical. You must have a safety data sheet for every hazardous substance you use or store. The safety data sheet must be kept as a hard copy near your chemical store, not inside it, just in case there's an accident, and be available to all users of the chemicals at all times. All safety data sheets must be in English and in 16 sections. All users of the chemical must have training on safety data sheet interpretation and how to implement it. A safety data sheet must not be more than 5 years old. If the date of preparation is more than 5 years old, the safety data sheet must be replaced with an in-date version. Where can you get a safety data sheet? You can obtain a safety data sheet from the supplier of the product or the manufacturer of the product. If asked for one, they must supply one on demand. However, the best place to really get an SCS is generally from the manufacturer's website, where it can be downloaded as a PDF and printed out at any time on demand. In section 1 of a safety data sheet, you will find the product identifier or trade name, the contact details of the manufacturer or importer responsible for supplying the chemical, and the telephone number to contact in case of an emergency. The information in this section should always be consistent with the label. In section 2, you will find all the hazards associated with that chemical identified. This section gives details on the potential health and physical hazards of the chemical. This information can be used to help assess the risks to the health and safety of the workers or other people and the environment. The information in this section should be consistent with the information on the label. This section will identify if the product is a hazardous substance or a dangerous good. In section 3, you will find information on the composition and information on the ingredients used in the chemical. If the chemical is a mixture, this section should provide the information on the identity and proportions of the hazardous ingredients in the mixture. Section 4 provides first aid measures. This describes the necessary first aid measures to be taken in the case of an accident. It provides emergency contact numbers and may provide information on the symptoms caused by exposure to the product. Section 5 is about firefighting. It gives specific information on fighting a fire involved with the chemical, including the most suitable extinguishing media and other protective measures. Section 6 provides information on accidental release measures. This section describes what actions need to be taken if there is an accidental release or spill of the chemical to minimise harm to people, property and the environment. In the spill management section, this section will contain the steps involved in the procedure for cleaning and or neutralising accidental spills of this product. Section 14 will provide transport information. This contains basic classification information like the UN number and the transport hazard classes and packing groups that relate to the transport of the chemical by road, rail, sea or air. Section 15 provides regulatory information. This section provides advice on other international or national regulatory information specific to the chemical, such as the Montreal Protocol for ozone depleting substances, the Stockholm Convention for persistent organic pollutants. It also contains the poison scheduling information and any other applicable Australian prohibition, notification or licensing requirements. Now that you've been provided information on the safety data sheet, this training is on the interpretation of a safety data sheet components. In conjunction with the label, you should now be able to be provided with the knowledge you require to safely prepare and apply your chemicals. Remember, you can only safely prepare and apply chemicals if you follow all the recommendations on the label and the safety data sheet of the chemical you are using. What you have seen on another safety data sheet may not keep you safe if you apply those recommendations to the chemical you are about to use, as all safety data sheets are specific to the chemical they are written for. A safety data sheet is part of the risk management process for that chemical, but only if you follow all the recommendations, so always read the label and safety data sheet. Now, please complete the following questions about the safety data sheet you just have studied.